All right, hello everyone and welcome. This is our leader networking time today. And I chose a topic. The topic today is Absolute Orlando. So this is magic making. So we started a little bit of this 2 weeks ago, but we're gonna really go live into what is Orlando again? What is the focus and the strategy? And what are some ideas? Like what are the gaps we might wanna put into place? So it's going to be a little bit of networking, a little bit of sharing. I've got some slides so we can kind of see something versus just brainstorm and talk about it. But I want it to be our hour first. So I'm going to take us through that. And then what you're going to see is this Wednesday, whatever the date is, the 19th, is our final day of coaching. And because of the trip, I've changed the scheduling. So you may show up at either 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. Pacific on Wednesday on Zoom. I don't mind consultants who want to earn the trip as well. You want to invite them, go for it. I really am all about going to sponsoring school because you can't be in leadership without consistent sponsoring yourself. And as you know, the recipe always is 2 sponsors a month yourself and 5 in your team. That is what the model of successful leadership is. I'm not here to change that, but we're going to focus on what are the gaps. So if you have the Eric War book that we brought out about 2 years ago within our region, I'm going to push you to read it again by Wednesday. And when you go read a book, I'm telling you, it'll take you 45 minutes to read the thing. It's the most important hour you need. You need to stimulate, we need to stimulate our brains back. I'm one of those that I made my Eric War book that year, and I just took notes because I don't like to reread a whole book. So I took notes, and now I've made them down into really, really small notes and picked out the top most important things. And we're going to use that as our foundation because it really is the model to help us fill the gaps, to end strong, but to open the new year, developing some skills and muscles around sponsoring. It's not that we don't focus on sales. It is because it is the whole point that sales are the product is the vehicle to lead you to more sponsors. If you don't get enough new faces in front of you, you're never going to get enough new sponsors. There's just no option of change to that recipe. So what are the most important behaviors? So join us for one of those hours on Wednesday that we're going to really break apart the Eric War book. All right, who knows the title of the book? No one? I just absolutely have my notes. GoPro. Thank you. GoPro. Thank you, Laurie. My brain went dead. It's in my bookshelf back here, but I didn't have time to dig it. GoPro by Eric War. Okay, so we're going to take that focus as we've gotten through kind of a chaotic year. By the way, you're all amazing. That being said, we're going to get some fresh starts to a whole new year in a whole new way of what we do and how we work together, okay? So we will continue coaching, not by leadership title or volume. I am going to coach 2 different groups. One will be the Magic Makers focused on Orlando, and another group will be formed when you see what's coming in January, okay? And I'm not gonna talk about that, but I will announce that for another elite focus group, all right? So there will be 2 groups that I coach, and they will be completely focused on the category of sponsoring and leadership, all right? And not everybody will fit in both categories, but you'll see once we launch this in January. So that being said, what I do want to do today, thank you, Lori, for posting that. It's in the chat box, the name of the book with the link. So that being said, what I want to go back to is the actual Orlando trip. And what are some of the tools or techniques that we want to do with the trip? So I'm going to show, this is the boring part, but I'm going to review the trip as well, okay? If we have to hear things 9 times before we actually really know it, okay? What I want you to see is how would you tell someone else to earn the trip? How are you inviting people to be open to the idea of going to Disney? One of the key things is that it's really exciting to be able to take your family. We've never done this before. Family, friends, it's different. It's not an old-fashioned Jaffa trip. It really is about 2 to 3 days of just playing at Universal Studios and Disney with those that you love. I was like, oh my gosh, I'd love to take my girlfriends and go in as adult and just go play. Like, it's kind of fun and different. I don't have grandkids yet, right? My kids have already gone. I've taken them to everything. But how fun to just go in a totally different experience. So think about, what does this trip mean to me? So number 2 to that, so you want to visualize who's going and am I going and who's going with me on my team. And you need that system in place. And you need to have visuals all over. So it begins with your Disney gear pictures. I've got Mickey Mouse all over. I've got my little Minnie Mouse suitcase. I've got everything ready so that you see it. If you don't say it and you don't see it, you don't plan to achieve it. So picture, what do you have up on your refrigerator? What do you have all around your office? Do you start every meeting, even if no one wants to go? You've got to keep the number one thing in front of them, which is the trip. So you are the only magic maker. Your belief is what people believe. So, and inviting people, I believe in you. I want to invite you to go with me, because Disney is where dreams do come true. So not saying, oh, I don't know, no one sponsors. It's, you know what? I need a little team. If you have no one on your team to work with, find a buddy. Go out on the Amber region. Find a buddy. You really need someone to talk to. You can't rely on me. You can't rely on your upline. Who's your Jafra buddy that for the next 6 months, you hold each other accountable. You brainstorm every week. We're going to have regional coaching. You need your upline to work with you if that's, in your opportunity. Not everybody has that, but if that's a key resource, great. Do you have dates booked? Do you have dates booked? Even if no one's on your dream team yet, do you have a name of your team and have you invited them to come every week? Okay. And a special one-by-one message does help, or even a Disney phone tree call to invite people to hear about it. Have you launched it? That's the key. So you want to have that for you, your structure of support, your buddy you're going to brainstorm with. We'll have our regional every week. I don't have my calendar yet because I'm going to listen to you on Wednesday, but it's not about that. It's that, what have you done to get yourself ready, setting your goal, getting yourself visually ready, planning your calendar. What have you done to get your team ready, inviting, having a place to get together every week? So filling you and filling your team, and that everything you do keeps Disney alive. Okay, so that's what leadership is. All right, that's what belief is. All right, so let me pause. How have any of you we'll just kind of see how we launched it. So a little bit about the before, then we'll go to what the trip is, and then we're going to come up with some ideas. What has anyone done to launch the trip with their team, get their team on board for the family edition, or even your own goals and keeping it alive and in front of you with yourself and or your family? Anyone have any shares?
Jackie, I did a Zoom with my team. Only one person got on live, but I did have it recorded as well, so that I was able to send it in my Facebook group and in my WhatsApp group for the team.
Excellent. Very good. And thank you for my Disney gifts, by the way.
You're welcome.
That was very sweet. I loved them. So I love that. So do you have, again, a meeting to invite people? If you haven't, it's okay. Never panic. But the key is, what are we doing action on from here on out? So love that. A Zoom meeting. Doesn't matter how many join, right? One trip earner with you is great. It's that momentum of always having it available no matter who shows up. Okay, love that. Great job. Thank you. Anyone else? How did you get yourself and or your team ready?
I know I posted in my in my team Facebook group just posted the video that Jaffa put out as far as about the trip. You know, the fun video as far as that Scott and Rosario did, just to get that in their minds. And I plan to do a Zoom meeting this Thursday here, so I'm gonna get that out on my Facebook team groups here. So.
Excellent. Very good. So changing the picture, put the trip on your Facebook group profile picture, right? So how do we keep Disney out there? Engaging them as well on the Facebook group. I love the video shares. You can post that video on your personal page. It's kind of a fun story, right? So without saying too much. So you can't do it too often, but that's kind of a subliminal, you know, who wants to dare to dream with me? Message me for just how to bring your family to Disney. So again, just some great ways to launch with your team and yourself. Okay, anyone else? We'll take one more share if anyone has one.
Jackie, I actually have my daughter coming up to the beauty center with me, and we're going to go on Facebook Live and talk about what it takes to get us to Universal Studios. So she's going to talk about how excited she is, and I'm going to talk about what it takes, and she's going to talk about how she's going to help me. Then we're going to, in the next couple days, get Norma and Markia on, all of us together, because that's a good age range as well. We're about 20 years apart. So that just kind of shows every demographic, every age, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about sponsoring too. So just using your whole team and using your family.
I love it. The stories do more than facts, right? So stories always sell, facts only tell. So I love that. How are you getting the story out there? So your team, you know, you hit that heartstring. People relate more to stories than anything. So I love that, involving the family, kind of like we had when we made our crazy little video with our elves at the workshop, having Esther's son say his story that, you know, he always wanted to go to Disney and it's going to be a family trip. Nothing keeps you more motivated than your family or someone else attached to your dream. So I love that. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, I just want to say one more thing real quick is when you've got your kids involved like that, you can easily go on your personal page. You don't have to leave it on your business page, because your friends, your family, they will forgive you for talking about your business when you have your cute kid next to you. So just
I love that.
Use so what true. You got.
It's so true. So I challenge you all. I went to the dollar store instantly. And some of you were at meetings where I did these silly things. But I gave out little markers to everybody with Disney. You could get like 8 in a pack for $1. I gave every person at my meetings, you're the magic, to the magic makers of Disney. They had Disney stickers, like 4 pages for $1. So I instantly started sending out postcards to some of the consultants on our WhatsApp group. So again, think about, how am I believing in people, sending postcards, sending stickers? Do you have the dream in your household? So every day your family is behind you. I love sharing on Facebook, stories and dreams. So it begins with you in the believe part and keeping that message alive. It's hard to keep it alive for 6 months, but you got to kick it off. You got to be proud of what this business offers you, and you need to have your goals set. What level, who's going with me, and then make that plan. When you look at the first month and the next month, getting off to a strong start really matters, okay? So again, just want to say, get yourself ready, all right? So, all right, I'm going to go to my slides for a moment, so bear with me. We're going to review the trip one more time, all right? So bear with me as I flip to my screen. All right, I have to exit out, sorry, because I didn't have time. Bear with me, sorry. Okay, let me close this and let me grab our Disney. Okay, so these were some of the gaps we started talking about, and these are some of the details of the trip. I know Dia had a great question from the last webinar, so bear with me. I'm gonna go through and see if we can find it. I will double check the question as well. But I'm going to just review again, what is this trip, all right? If it bores you, I'm sorry, but the devil is always in the detail, right? So here we go. What is this trip? You can bring you plus up to 3 family members. Expenses are paid. Again, you can earn the round trip airfare with the plus points. Per person is the plus points for airfare. I'll show you that on a grid. If you choose to drive, Jafra, instead of using your airplane points, will give you $200 per person for driving, okay? You will have 4 days accommodations. You will have your own room starting at level 2. If you earn level 1, obviously it's just for you, and you will have a roommate by Jafra. If you earn level 2, you get your own room. For the trip achiever, for the level you had. So if it says +1 family, you get 1 in that room. You will not be able to fill the room with other family members. They need to be at another hotel, okay? So that room will be monitored for you plus whoever you bring based on the level. So if it's you +3, you'll get that room for 4 people, you plus your 3 attendees with you. Again, immediate family will be able to be, if they're in Jafra already, they don't have to earn it. They can go as your +1, +2, +3. Transportation to and from airports, parks, hotels, blah, 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 are included in that. Every person gets $250 prepaid card for you and each achiever to use towards the meals at the parks. You will go to the parks for 2 days. You choose which park. Do you want Walt Disney World, Universal? I'm not going to read what they include. You can read that in the pull-out guide in the action. That thing is absolutely amazing. So take that pull-out guide, make sure you keep that, and any extra actions you have. It's a really, really good tool. All right, let's go to how do we do this. December 1st to May 31st. You have to do all of these qualified sponsors to earn any level. Then you have to have points for the trip, and then the extra airline points are here. Airline is not included in the trip. They are more points, okay? You can earn it without airline, or you can earn it with airline. So what does this mean? The trip just for you, 10 qualified consultants. Qualified is 400 retail the month they join or the following month. December sponsors have to be 400 this month, accumulative retail, or 400 next month. They don't merge together, 200 here, 200 there. Okay, it's 1 month or the other. That's a qualified. Your points again, 250, 450, 550, 650 if you want to bring 1, 2, or 3 members. You have to do this number of sponsors and this number of points. It's 100 points per person you bring along in addition to the trip. Okay, so that is the core to the points. All right, let me go here. Family and friends are anyone you want to bring. Except here, this is the exception, immediate family, you can't bring another consultant. It can only be immediate family that is a consultant that you can count as your pluses. A QNC is a new consultant who joins Jafra, has 400 in the month they join or the following month. It includes park, meals, admission, and transportation. Extra airline points are there if you want them, okay? So just a reiteration, again, that's in your fold-out guide. Then, again, how do we do this? We have, there's only 4 ways to earn points, only 4 ways, okay? You sponsor, and they have 400 the month they join the following month. All right, what does that mean? That means you get 20 points, 18, 16, it drops the longer you wait to get points for the qualified consultant. You then, number 2, you get more points when they have 400 or more in retail sales the following month. What does that mean? They have retail sales, let's say they qualify in December and they join. Then they do 400 every single month thereafter. I have a potential of 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 points for all my December sponsors. If they don't qualify in December and they qualify in January with their first 400, then I don't get the 10 points from my January. They're only worth 60, okay? They have to qualify, and then each month after that month, I get 10 points. So I have a potential of 70 per new in December. if they do 400 plus 400 every other month. In January, it drops down to 58 potential per sponsor, 46, 34, 22, and 10. Early bird gets the worm, okay? So again, that's key. The question Dia had, and I don't have the answer in front of me, is if they join but don't QNC, let's say we avoid this out, do I still get 10 points if they don't qualify in December or January? Do I still get 10 points for every month of 400 after? I will ask the question. My gut tells me no, but I could be wrong, so I will double check that question, okay?
Jackie, this is Carol. On the page, I guess it's 15. Well, I can't even read this now. It does say in Part B, QNC is a new consultant who joins Jeffra and accumulates $400 in personal retail sales, and the month they join or the following month and during the qualification period. This is Evelyn's question earlier. So it sounds like it's all three. It sounds like the month they join or the following month, but they don't have or during the qualification. That's got to be checked out because it's not super clear.
Yeah, I know that. So thank you. So I will send the message when I'm done. I just don't want to multitask. So I will absolutely double check that and post everything on WhatsApp, etc. I'm assuming it's all coming in the FAQ that is supposed to be launching today or tomorrow. But I will double check to make sure we find out sooner if it's not already posted later today. So thank you. It's a great question. All right. So that being said, these are the two ways you earn points, okay, for sponsoring. Third way and fourth way, when someone promotes to manager, first time only, okay, first time only, so a couple of questions are this. If I sponsored someone and she was a manager, but she since went former on that account, she re-sponsored with a new account and has a new case number and is now qualifying for the first time, does she count? Absolutely. Whatever kit number you hold, that's who you are, okay? If somebody was a leader before probably about the year 1999, we don't probably have a record that she was a leader that far back, okay? If in doubt, you can always call the Jafra 800 number and ask them to look up the last qualification date for that consultant from when she was a manager. If you have any of those pending, please call the 800 number. I don't have a report on that, okay? So what does that mean? When you qualify someone to manager, you get 40 points the month she qualifies. So this month, if Betty Green was going to leader, Sylvia would get 40 points. Then every month, Betty maintains her team, which she wants to do to get her new manager bonus anyway. She is going to get, Sylvia would get 40 points every single month. Same thing, 40 points, she qualifies. And now I have 5 full months of 40 extra points. Sooner, again, early bird gets the worm. There are not points if you are a consultant and you promote to leader. You get your points by sponsoring. The key is this. I'm not going to worry as much about 10 points a month. I want you to focus on QNCing because you can't earn this trip without 10, 15, 20, or 25 QNCs, okay? So I'm just going to say we're going to really focus on the QNCs the month they join, all right? And if Betty became a leader during the month of December, January 1st, she wakes up, she's a manager. The only way she earns points from number 3 and number 4 is she promotes a branch January, February, March, April, or May herself. So she does it and she duplicates herself. So everybody has the same playing field, okay? So the key is, again, early gets the worm. The most important thing to use is this tracking chart. When you coach your Orlando or Dream Makers or Magic Makers, whatever you want to call it, Disney Dream Team, make sure you use this tracking form. And you will see in the pull-out guide, we have examples of what would it look like. Map it out. If you just say points and you don't plan how many sponsors you're going to have how many points you're going to have, personal and promotions, all 4 ways, then you don't see how it's possible. You can't just make this up and hope it happens. In the beginning quote, it takes a plan, and that's the truth. You have to plan or you will plan to fail. So leaders, the most important thing you do is get with your Disney dreamers, your magic makers, and map out what you're going to do each month. When you come to our call Wednesday, you have to know your level and break it down. Jafra gives you examples in Jafra Royalty and in your action, a diamond level, a gold level, a silver level, and a bronze level. What would that look like breaking it down for 6 months? Earlier is better. Consistency is key. Remember again how important this is. So what I want to just take a look at is, bear with me, because this was the one thing in my head. December, January, and February QNCs did not place $400 order in May. Okay, I was just double checking. All of these are with QNCs. Okay, so I'll get that answer for you all. Remember, the key is, what do you have to help you right now? We were saying this. I love how Carol said this on our last webinar. Are you going for $100 or $200 in your bonuses this month? Because that kickoff pays you cash for Dallas or whatever you want your cash for, but it gets you off to the Orlando start. And again, for all of you, this is our key for you this quarter. Like Carol said, that is a big focus for her. So this is to help you, again, get your consultants off to a strong start. What's in it for them is always first-time new promotions. Not only make 11%, if they qualify in December, they get paid that plus their cash bonuses for sponsoring. They're going to earn bonus money in their commissions January, February, but they have their new manager cash. So when you break that down, look at this. December sponsoring, those consultants who sponsor 2 or 4 can make $700 to $800 by qualifying in December or January. So this is really, really key to talk about what's in it for them. Send them play money. Send them pictures of what's in it for them. What's in it for you? We're going to focus next year on this quarterly bonus very strong. Do your best to focus on it in December. I'm not going to go into that right now. All of this sponsoring and promoting, remember we launched, this new compensation plan in May. This trip aligns to what all of these bonuses are for. Sponsoring leads to team promotions, and team promotions lead to 5 new bonuses. That this all goes hand in hand. We talked about last year in Dallas, the year of the leader, and there's more coming in January. So that is what this trip is all about for you and them. So I want to go back to 3 key focuses. 1, how do we focus, again, on really getting personal sponsoring? We talked about this on the last webinar. Definitely inviting people to be hostesses can work, whether it's December or January. Hostesses, 50% of hostesses in direct selling today sponsor. Because they like you enough, they like your product enough, they invite people to come. You have the option to give them gifts at a $400 party right now. You can pre-stock these if you want to do the same collection of $111 of Jafra Royal Jelly products free. You could pre-buy them and book them for the first 2 weeks of January, the last 2 weeks of December, first 5 bookings only. But look, again, that's $32 you're spending towards a $400 party, but it's giving you back, when they purchase their 3 items here, $26. So you have this opportunity that you can also maybe give a free kit for their hostess gift instead of the free products. You decide, but it is an opportunity where they can actually still shop for their hostess gifts. Maybe, again, instead of giving hostess rewards, you put it towards their business kit. So it's a time to pause and say, if I book some parties online in Zoom or in a room, how would I then give the kit as a gift or half off the kit and use that instead of working with products? That's up to you. Okay, so just an opportunity to think about that. We talked about last time, and then I'm going to pause and go back to all of you. How do you see December? We looked at, don't get too worried about the busy. Are we giving referral cash or free product for people that join in December? Who do you know that? What we did is we talked about someone who joins with a $400 order. You give that person who gave you the referral either $20 cash or $50 in product. What does it cost you? $22 at 11%. When you're a leader, that's the commission you make back. So that's why you could afford to do a $20 cash bonus or use up your inventory or sale priced items for the month and do $50 free gift bag. So you want to get a referral program in place for now and the next 6 months. These were just ideas. So we'll come back and see what you have in place for it. We even talked about doing BOGO, whether you do it in December or you do this for the next 6 months so that you're working on that quarterly bonus, getting them off to an instant sponsor. I just want to share with you, I went to Belinda Ellsworth, you know she's my mentor and who I go to what's going on in the industry. I asked her to give me 2 key things that she sees most successful in the industry. What are 2 things she would do if she was promoting leaders and working her sponsoring muscles? And she said the most important thing is that consultant sponsors in her first 30 days. If a new consultant doesn't sponsor the month she joins, it's about an 80% chance she never sponsors. They always sponsor when they're excited and they prefer to join a company with a friend. So I really want you to get the buddy BOGO, the bestie BOGO into a focus. You don't have to give this away, okay? This was just an idea, but it really is the mantra of you plus who will be joining together. Never do a sponsoring interview without her bringing a friend. And that's why hostesses also make really good sponsors. We're going to really go back to a lot of parties in 2019 because I think it's a gap. So just based on coaching. But this is what we talked about. When someone joins, they buy a kit and they get one free when they both qualify that month they join with $400 in orders. They could choose, this is an option. You're giving this, not Jafra. A $49 cash rebate, they can share it and split it, or they get it themselves, or a $100 product gift bag. Or make it $150 and put 2 Royal Jelly products in there. You decide, but the income you make from that gives you the money to put back into it. Now you're giving full profit, but you're getting 2-for-1 sponsors. You're getting a referral to sponsor, okay? So this is key to you to think about. What's in it for them? Jafra gives them the free longevity bone. And then at $400, you're giving them something different, okay, which could be the BOGO. So these were just ideas, all right, that we talked about to really kick this off. You could do it for 6 months, but we talked about it for December. Okay, the key thing we did talk about, I'm not going to go into this, but it's opening your account. Remember this. They open their account and they get that $74 gift only the month they join with $300. And you want to talk about, again, the $400 is something from you, okay? The only reason I kept this up, I know holiday shopping is over, but the key is that when they open their account, remember, with all of our monthly offers and unadvertised specials, they're averaging 70% savings every month they shop the rest of their life. They start at 40 and they move to 50. What are the key things? When I talked to Belinda Ellsworth, I said, what makes us different? And she said, absolutely, Royal Jelly, absolutely having 4 departments and 500 products, 40% starting with a $49 kit or $129 is amazing. No inventory required. We also give them the privilege of up to 50%, and the lowest they ever have is 30. Many companies are 10 to 25%. So I want you to keep grabbing what makes you different. There's a free website, a free social media toolkit. There's no recurring fees or dues. There's no sales quota, no inventory, no minimum orders. And again, it's the best way to continuously use and replace products in their home for themselves and have a shareable business with business on the go, online, with appointments or without. So these were some of the keys, and never forgetting the Jafra salutes you military discount where they get 50% off their 129 kit, and showing them the value of the 49 and the 129. Here they get 8 products, here they get 20 products of our top selling fragrances and skincare, the biggest demands in the marketplace products. So I wanted to just pause. I know we did a lot of these different promotions. You saw all the videos, but we want to keep the story alive with a system now for the next 6 weeks now that holiday shopping is over. And remembering to always offer at the end of an order form all 3 services: to be a client, to book and earn, so they buy and save, they book and earn, or they begin with a shareable income for 2019. Start now, get your products, get used to them, carry them to your family functions, share them, and have a simple, shareable business. The average person today needs just $200 a month to start to make a financial difference. $200. That's working 1 day a month, 1 party every month of their own. Or they can share it each and every week and basically have 2 to 4 orders a week from an online business. So we want to talk about $200 a month, or if they've got 4 hours a week instead of 4 hours a month, then they can turn that into $200 a week. That's the income that people are looking for today, based on Belinda Ellsworth, one of the top trainers in the industry. Really focusing on closing every order on the 3 services today, using your customer order form. So we serve them to buy, book, or begin, and then build client income 2 ways versus just assuming what people want. So again, that's one of the keys that we have for this month. All right, what else do they get? New consultants get the Royal Jelly Longevity Balm. They're at 40%, but they also get the agenda, the lipstick, and the setting spray only when they join this month. And then you can decide what you want to give if they go to 400. So don't forget, there's even more for new consultants only in December. They can't join in January and get these 3 items also. So really, really key, because then they're at 50%. So I'm going to pause a minute before we go into just a couple other topics for our next 15 minutes. So let me pause. Did anybody put together the BOGO? Did anyone put together referral plans, not just December, but something they're going to keep doing for the next 6 months? I'm just hearing ideas from all of you.
Okay.
Or anything else that helps you. Go ahead, Jackie. Thank you.
So this was my husband's idea, and I know I shared this with you before, Jackie, but we're going to use our credit card points. I don't know what you guys have available, but you know, everybody out there probably knows what I'm talking about, where we can use our credit card points that we've gotten all year long, like, you know, because we use it for all of our Jafra stuff, we might as well cash them in, and we can get $50 gift cards instead of buying the little gifts that your credit card points allow you to buy, these weird little wacky things, or you know, using it as, you know, money to pay off your bill or whatever. We're going to get these $50 gift cards that are available to us, and we're going to use those to do a BOGO. So we're going to be able to pay $50 on their kit, and then they just pay the tax and shipping. So, you know, or we can even do free if we wanted. We hadn't just stuck to BOGO, but that's one way we're going to be able to pay the $50 is cashing in those points.
Love that idea. That's brilliant. We have that too. We have all these little mini gift cards from our credit cards. So I love that. That's brilliant. Thank you. Okay. Anyone else, ideas you have to make sure you end every conversation with who do you know that, as you build some sponsoring muscles or BOGO campaigns or gifts for consultants who go to 400? Anyone who has anything in place in their mind?
Jackie, sorry, I've got to stand.
That's okay. Go ahead. Go ahead, honey.
So as you were talking, I've been doing the BOGO and I've been promoting that. But as you were talking, because I'm scheduling more parties on my book, I just couldn't help but think, if I had a party and really truly focus on those BOGO offers, especially if you have 10 or more people, you might have a new manager right there. You get that hostess sponsor and 4 people because they're coming in with the BOGO. And if we really, really work it right with our demonstration, I think that just might be a way of getting new managers on the team. And I'm going to continue the BOGO throughout the promotion period of the Disney.
Excellent. I love that. And we just want to kind of, you can try it, but I want you to try it for 6 months, right? So I love what you're saying, Evelyn. And trust me, has anybody ever done a party where you sponsored 6 to 10 at a party? I got to tell you, I did it numerous times, many times. It really, truly is, you get what you focus on. One of the key masteries, and we're going to train on this a lot throughout the Magic Makers weekly coaching, because I believe what you're saying, Evelyn, is so right on. You want to become, there's a couple of things I'd become a master on. Booking parties, because you're going to work really hard one person at a time. I'm sorry, I can't do it. I'd rather have, Jackie and I were brainstorming on this in Westlake Thursday night. If you go to parties as the one thing you become a master at, I'm telling you, it's going to be far easier to promote branches and sponsor. You're right on, Evelyn. Sometimes, I believe in prospecting. Believe me, I would just do sachets for prospecting and never make it any harder than that. But I always think, what would be my prospecting plan? You can't do 80 things. Pick your mastery, and we'll brainstorm on that. But be really good at bookings, because at a party, one woman who brings you 10 people in chairs and 20 people not yet who didn't show up, you got 30 names by one human. You need a system that's magical. And you need to make that the biggest important thing you do is, how do I get 10 people at a party? Because you said it, Evelyn. You know what? You can do a party and average 4 people. So if you did 2 parties, let's say you did 10 parties a month, you'd see 40 people. But if you became 10 at a party is your biggest incentive for your hostess, and you have a system for that to help her with phone tree calls, Facebook events, invitations if she wants in the mail, or text inviting using social media invites, I'm telling you, that's 100 people versus 40. You didn't work any harder. She did. You can't work the hardest. You need worker bees to be your queen bee, right? So it really is, you said it so good, Evelyn, that all of a sudden that's the vision, that you master that. And you've got 6 months to master it. You won't come out of the chute perfect, but you're going to get that down when you stay simple with what's the most important things, right? So my prospecting, my parties, and again, that system of new consultants getting off to sponsoring in their first 30 days is more important than anything you've ever done. So if BOGO helps, I love it. So good vision. I don't have the answers. We're going to work together every week till we all figure it out. And you're going to have your own way. I love what Jackie said. You know what? I don't want to rake the $50 out of my account. Do I have a way to get that? And if you don't do that and do product. It's okay to do gift bags, right? But what does that look like? So thank you. I love those shares. So any other thoughts or ideas, from referrals to BOGOs to parties, getting 10 there, anything else that this is stimulating in your mind? Okay.
I just want to make sure I keep this focus on the folks that can promote out. I mean, I've been texting, you get what you focus on, remember the BOGO, they know, those that know about it, and the possibilities. And we did that at our district meeting last week. Shavika was there, and she did a wonderful job of coordinating it. And I'm going to probably show up on your Zoominar on Thursday night. But anyway, just help them see the money they can have and the possibilities, not if, and I'm not saying if you do this, when, and I'm asking each one of them, what have you done today to get $100 or $200 bonus money from Jafra? And reminding them about that and showing them that they can have $700 to $800 more in their pocket in January. I mean, what will you do with that money? And I'm here to help. So I really want to promote at least 2 managers. I'm going to probably re-promote one of them, and then hopefully she'll promote someone within her group. So it's just showing the possibilities that it is possible, it is doable. And we wanted to make everyone that was at our district meeting know that even if they've never earned a trip before, if they think and they close the book and they go, that's not me, it is you. It can be you. You've got to see yourself there. And I think that's really important. The visuals, Jackie, about the Disney visuals and things of that sort. I think the first trip I ever won was the LA San Diego. I think I were in New York one time, but the LA San Diego one was really big for me. And I saw myself there. At the very beginning, you've got to see yourself there and doing certain things. You visualize, I'm sitting there with my grandkid or my daughter and the grandkid or my son and the grandkid or whatever you want, and see it, and then you will believe it. You've got to see and visualize that and dream about it.
You got it. You got it. Thank you. And think about this. If I were in your shoes, okay, I would go to the dollar store. I would get play money galore, get as many $100 bill play money as you can, because the truth is, if you did a BOGO, and you don't have to do your own promotions. I don't think it's a have to, but I do know sometimes when we're trying to do things in a big way, it helps. So that $100, think about this. If a new consultant joins and she joins with 2, right? A kit rebate for cash is $100. So you can keep that kind of promotion yourself as a leader. It pays itself back, but where you earn the income is after that. Then she's a new manager and she's got $200 on the table again, right? So sending cards, keeping it in front of them, keeping the promotions from the iPad to, Fast Start in front of them is really, really key. So I just want you to kind of get your thoughts. How am I going to meet enough new people with prospecting? How am I going to book more parties and get really good at that, because you'll work far less and get far more results? And do I want to have any promotions myself? If you don't know how that works or that sounds confusing, ask me for an appointment. I'll help you so that you see how that looks, what that looks like. And then you're going to have a group every week that will brainstorm on all of those techniques, okay? So again, you really want to have that plan in place. So thank you for sharing. Write down any other shares you have. I want to get to our final slides here, okay? I'm going to go back to sharing, so bear with me here. Because one of the key things, I always say, when you're a leader, you run your own company. If you rely everything on the company to do everything, you're missing the fun. There's a couple of gaps. Jafra gives your new consultants so much to help you get to $400 consultants, but you might have to fill the gap. Jafra has free products the month she joins, the next 2 months. There's again $184 of free products, but that's at a $300 month, okay? So again, you have an opportunity to say, Jafra gives this, plus whatever else they have in the month, like the agenda, but I give more at $400. Jafra has packs. They only get these once in a lifetime, but they're $350. So again, Jafra has these for you to make $1,399 profit, but I have an extra incentive for you when you go to $400. These are only $350. Jafra has this, which is $1,200 for a free ritual collection. And you could do the early bird for anybody who does that before their first 3 months are over. You could add another Royal Jelly product. When they have 4 consultants in their first 6 months, Jafra gives the iPad, but you could do early bird, okay? So you have the opportunity to drive that. So I don't have your answers, but your recognition matters. Here's a couple of things in our final segment. You are the recognition masters. It does matter, not Jafra, it's you. You need to have, like I have on Thursdays, or Wednesdays or Fridays. It's follow-up Friday or Winter Wednesday. That's where you literally pause and you check reports and you do calls. You do email updates of recognition from your builders to your accelerators. You send the play money in the mail, the Disney postcards. You have to have a recognition program that is bumping people to what it is you focus on. The rewards must be clear. They must be the same for everybody. The path can't change all the time or they get confused. So you need a valid reason to change it, like a bonus month. And I can tell you, Jafra will not have bonus point months during this trip. Will not. This is not going to happen. So you again have to create that. You have to again make sure you have a recognition program. If you do not, it's going to hurt your team results, and it has to stay the same. The rewards have to have a little bit of meaning, okay? So it's about perceived value. Research and know what motivates your team. Is it product? Is it tools? Is it widgets and gadgets? What is it? Again, you have to do recognition immediately. You can't do it 3 months later. Sooner is always better. That's why I believe every week you take a report and recognition day as a leader. It's only an hour, but you need to notice them. Just like I do the number of orders, it takes me 6 hours to text everybody at month end the number of orders goals, but it's taken us from 11th place to 1st place because it does matter, and they know you're watching and they are excited to have celebration. So it does matter, doing weekly and doing daily. And doing it in public like we do on our Facebook platform. So look here, it says newsletter, website, social media, texting, WhatsApp, making it relevant, because people do want to work for a team cause. They like to be a part of success, and they love to see their name or hear their name, just like we did today. It may seem like, oh, they don't want to hear names. Yes, they do. It's romper room, right? I see Jackie, Evelyn. Sorry, that dated myself. But cash is always a little more expensive, so you know that. And it may not always motivate people. So keep it in a constant pattern for one thing or another, whether it's growth or it's BOGO. It may be effective, it may not. But you can't use it for everything, just like Jafra. Jafra can't either, but we do like to use it kind of when they're new. Even if it's $10, you don't have to do a free kit. You could do it different. You run your own company, but it really does matter that you have a plan. So what are some of those gaps? These are the things we've been talking about. Having new consultant recognition when they achieve $400 the month they join. Again, I'm about making money. I've never taught to spend typically more than 20% back into recognition. So unless I'm doing a 2-for-1 sponsoring or referral gift, because I don't want to work so hard, I want them to build my bonuses. But you never want to spend more than $4 on a product gift for that. That's 20% of your income for that new consultant. So when you look in the book, like look at your hand creams right now. You can get $10 to $12 hand creams for $2 cost. Those are things you stock up on, right? Higher value. And again, your cost is low. You're missing a gap of new consultants, or all consultants actually, and you want to do similar to the trip: bronze, silver, gold, and diamond. These are the 4 levels that you want to move to. The recognition program already, or the comp plan, does 50% for all consultants at 300, or 40%. So you always do more than what the comp plan pays. Okay, so don't reward 300. You want more than that. Jafra already does 300, even for your new consultants, right? So you always do more to get more. Jafra plus me, you get more. and a consistency club. I know a couple of you have done the Royalty Club. Thank you, Evelyn. I think Shafika, thank you for that. But we're going to move that club again to maybe a consistency club. So what if they were to do that 3 times, 4 times, 5 or 6 times in the next 6 months? And you could do that for all consultants. So let's just take a look at ideas before we close. So options for new consultants, when they achieve 400, you can spend $2 to $4. But if they join Jafra and qualify that month, then you could give them, again, Jafra gives them this, Jafra gives them the agenda. But you could either do a full-size product or maybe you do samples. I know Janice Todd does this and it really works for her. She gives sachet packets, sachet cards, or little packets for them to go share and make more money. So again, if we know it gets on their skin and they're in, as Debbie shared, then how are we giving that away? So these are key. What do you want to do for that new consultant who joins that month and QNCs? All right. So spend about $2 to $4. You decide on the gifts. Remember, even when you buy these types of gifts, they're not commissionable, but this breaks down some royal jelly in a really low cost with a high value. Okay. Next, I'm just feeding your brain and we'll brainstorm on Wednesday. Sorry, I don't need to go through this, but don't forget to really market these packs. Never again do they get to make $1,399 with up to 70% profit, only the month they join. So this is a big deal for them to really take a look at, okay? So I know this will look busy. We're gonna break this down on Wednesday, but you could do, again, a consistency recognition program. So I will send you this chart, but if you look at this, if a consultant, any consultant did $400 3 out of the next 6 months, they accumulate a total of $1,200 or more. This is the commission you make on that. So this is the type of money you have as a gift. So how would you do that? You have your monthly reco at 4, 6, 8, and 1,000. But if they do 3 out of 6 months, you ship them the gift for doing it 3 months out of 6. Here's 4 months out of 6. Here's 5 out of 6. And here's 6 out of 6. This is additional. You could buy products. You can do tools. It doesn't matter. But this is only during Disney Dream Time. And you align the titles to what Jafra is doing. This is if you spent a max of $20. Remember that includes shipping, mailing bag, etc. So there's all sorts of things you could do. Monthly recognition with $2 to $4 gifts for each level. But when you contact them, you say, congratulations. Sorry, let me go to the next slide. Bear with me. Because I'll go here. You have consistency and you have monthly. Monthly, you always want to have sponsoring and sales. So here's your 4 levels: bronze, silver, gold, diamond. Here's your retail sales. Here's their sponsoring. And again, you could even do a promotion and they get a gift here for sales, sponsoring, and promoting during your 6 month of monthly recognition. Plus, again, you can go back to the consistency of sales and or sponsoring. So as you take a look at this, again, this is where you can do product, tools, samples. But the way this works is to be on top of it so they notice. So every Wednesday, I do Winter Wednesday, and I say, I call and I say, congratulations, Evelyn. You already achieved 400 retail this month. You've earned our bronze level gift of blah, blah this month. And maybe it's just a product of $10 to $15. I don't know. But you then have, for the next level, just $150, because let's say she's at $450, to get to silver the rest of this month. So here's some great ideas or tips to help you share. Or join us for our weekly coaching group on how to build income by building clients and consultants. So you're cheering her on with a postcard, a call, celebrating her on WhatsApp like we do, achieving goals each week, etc. But really look at your monthly levels, and then you can create the consistency club, which again, we will share. Bear with me here. So as we do that, what tools do we have? We can use all sorts of things, like you could do the $400 goal in their first 10 days and they get a bonus gift. They can attend the 4 Weeks to Success, finish their Tic-Tac Grow in 30 days and get another gift. That's an idea. Sorry, forgive me. I'm just stopping here. But the key is you want to have a plan in place to move them to that 400. Monthly, consistency, but keep a balance of selling, sponsoring, and promoting. So that was some of the things we talked about 2 weeks ago. I don't know if anybody has put something together as the first brainstorming we talked about. Has anyone put together gift ideas or a plan with the Consistency Club or monthly Reco program? Not yet? Okay. All right. Again, this is for leaders. As consultants, you shouldn't be doing this, okay? Talk to your leader about it and see if she's got a plan in place. You're not there, so I don't want you to have to go create things, okay? So this is more important that you focus on your sponsoring. Don't worry about the leadership piece. The leadership piece, again, you can talk to your manager, see if she has something in place for that. If not, it's okay. But as leaders, these are just ideas of all the things that I know really truly can help create what the trip is about. And recognition, because of the chaotic year with the computer, seemed to be a gap that people kind of got behind on. So I say no more. Create a 6-month plan. Try not to change it. Like, those tips are all about how to do effective recognition. So those are systems to put into play. So I wanted to plant those seeds today, and then we'll brainstorm again on Wednesday, okay? So go ahead, Vicki, thank you.
Gail and I put together our recognition. So
Yay!
for branch sales and sponsoring, and then we have for their retail, you know, and if they become a branch, if they become a manager. So we got them both together.
Yay! Okay, will you send that to me so we can brainstorm using that as a foundation?
Okay.
Thank you. We'll start with that on Wednesday. No one has to have the identical thing, but these are the masteries of creating recognition that matters. And it's having that plan in place for 6 months with everything. Again, I would add Disney to it. Remember, you have to keep the pictures of our story in front of them. So you can call it the bronze, silver, gold, whatever you do, or use Disney names. But even if it's not just about Disney, it's keeping Fast Start and your system for new consultants to succeed, and keeping recognition for all consultants to succeed, and balancing it from promoting, sponsoring, and selling. All 3 is how you get paid in direct selling, right? So awesome. I love that. Thank you, Vicki. I appreciate that. We'll do it together. And even if you don't have it done, don't panic. It's getting it started is the key, and then blocking time to do that every week. It takes recognition weekly to keep it going, okay? All right, any other thoughts or ideas that you have in your mind, or that, again, you want to share for today?
I do a monthly newsletter, and it obviously includes recognition. And I also post it on our team Facebook page. I used to give gifts. Then I stopped giving gifts because I found that either they didn't like what I was giving, or it wasn't being effective. So the reason I said not yet on my recognition is because I'm looking at 2019, trying to decide, do I do sachets? Do I send a mascara? Do I send a lipstick? Do I send a Starbucks gift card? What do I do? Because I've tried so many different things in the past, and nobody's going like, yippee, I got, So I don't know if everybody else is, or what everybody else does or doesn't do, but I'm kind of like struggling with that right now, trying to figure out what to do in the new year.
I'm going to give you a suggestion.
Okay.
It's a really good question, by the way. And I can only do this from my experience, because if there was one way that helped me grow my income, it was doing product. I believe at the end of the day, so when you get the new book, all right, when you get the new, I'm telling you, I have not unpacked a bag. Oh my gosh, I'm like so crazy. When you get a catalog at the beginning of the month, the purpose of your monthly catalog or brochure, the sales brochure, there's 2 ways for all of you. The first thing you do is go through the 4 departments and you pick out your hot buys from your client perspective. So when you do your customer follow-up calls, you look at, I look 30, 40, 50%. What's the hottest buys from each department, right? And then what's my giftable of the month, okay? Then what's my party themes? And what's my reason for the season to join the business? All of those are pieces of my client call. And my texting and my Facebooking. Number 2, I then go through the book and look at the email offers. What's the cheapest deals I can buy for recognition gifts? So from a consultant perspective, I can't grow them with a Starbucks card. A $5, $10 gift card costs me a lot. That's cash.
Right.
I get paid in my commission check for buying product. So the only time I use cash is probably either growth for my district leaders, because it's making me a lot more cash to get bonuses, or BOGO to get bonuses. If I'm not getting bonuses, more cash out of it, I won't use cash. Okay? So I'm just going to say that. I might mute you, Linda. Sorry. I hear your background. I think it's you at work. That's okay. You're okay. You're okay. So you're fine. Don't worry. So one is cash really is to multiply new leaders or new consultants, or it's very expensive. So one, I wouldn't work with gift cards for consultants. If I did, it would be something like I could buy, like Jackie said, with my Visa cards from my personal life, and I would do it for team growth or something. That's one, okay? Number 2, I love this. Betty's a consultant, and she said, getting a gift in the mail, anything I get is a joy, right? Don't worry about if it works. You have to make recognition work by upping them every single week. A newsletter, when it's over, doesn't move recognition. That's a fact. So it's every week when you do your Winter Wednesday and you look at your branch results every week and you say, look who's on track, who's already earned bronze, who's already earned silver. And you do it every single week, not in the newsletter after it's done. You have potential of them bumping up. And you send them a personal note. Congrats, you're already at bronze. So the key to making recognition work is that. But I believe what Betty said. Who gets a gift in the mail in today's world from anybody? Nobody. I believe in appreciation. And I believe, I could tell you, I mailed 90 to 110 packages every month. It was an 8-hour day process for me, for my central branch. I can only use experience. And I can't begin to tell you the volume that grew. But I always had to think, okay, this eyeliner is really light, so I can ship it. So you might say a $15 surprise in the mail and not get stuck on what it is, because it changes. So right now, I still look at that flyer and I go, it's commissionable bags. A bag's pretty light. Maybe I want that in the smallest envelope, and I can afford to do that for these levels. So you might say up to blah, 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 surprise in the mail, right? So, and I believe you do, you get. A lot of people go, well, if you don't come to the meeting, you don't get it. I don't believe in that at all. I never have and I never will. The love notes I got every month from those 100 people who said, oh my gosh, thanks for mailing the green eyeshadow or the green eyeliner. I never would have bought that, but I loved it. You have fragrance vials, sachets, travel sets, a product. I don't think there's a right and a wrong, and it's not about motivating, it's about appreciation. And that is how, does it motivate? It's only going to motivate your A and B consultants. And you really can't buy bigger than what Jafra does. But it's, again, what you do each week, because people like the challenge to get more, to do more, right? So let me come back, Linda. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Because it's a hot question. Recognition is appreciation. It'll eventually motivate when you stay consistent. All those things I studied for you about why recognition and how to make it work, they're really true. Okay? But be cost effective. What I see leaders do, this is me, and I used to have the bad habit. And I still see it. I see leaders go to meetings and they give away the farm, like desperate recognition. So number 1, 2, and 3, you can't make change with only recognizing top 3 people, because it's already over. I don't mind if you go number 1, 2, and 3, get a bonus gift from my bonus basket, but you should do and get in direct selling. That's just a fact of direct selling. And I also notice that it's, you give away the farm for drawings. I don't believe in that. You don't have a lot of chances for drawings. I love early bird drawings, right? And appreciate everybody, but I only do a drawing. I love achieving team goals, and everyone who ordered in the month, when we hit our team goal, goes into a drawing. But if it's a chance, I don't know about y'all, but did the treasure chest earning cash for sponsoring motivate you when it's a chance of the whole United States? No. So do and get is the only way to move growth numbers, right? And I love consistency, and I love the monthly newsletter. I love that you do that. Please don't ever stop. People seeing their name does matter. And you've got venues now. You've got an email, which is snail. You've got mailing. For those who don't have email, would I mail a newsletter? Yeah, I would. Because you're not going to have many. But I've got to appreciate everybody, right? So you've got WhatsApp. You've got Zoom saying their name. You can record it. You can do Facebook Live. You can do mailing. You can do emailing. You can do texting. You can never do recognition too much. It is the number one difference, honestly, of direct selling, what they never get at work. And it's just valuing them as a team and celebrating them with appreciation. Okay, so great topic. That is probably one of the best questions, because it's a hard decision. I get it. So I struggled all my life with it too. And I was like, you know what? I love to give a lot away, but it's hard to mail, and it's very costly, and it's time consuming. But you know what? People are your most important part of this business, from customers to consultants to your leaders. Okay, so let me pause. Any other thoughts or comments? Because I know we're coming back for Brainstorming Wednesday. I wanted to give you a really big warm up to today and get you ready for Wednesday, our final brainstorming for magic making. Anybody else with other thoughts and ideas before we go? Oh, Shafika, you're muted, hon.
Okay. I know Evelyn and I talked about this as far as before. For recognition, like in brochures and order forms and like the different things like that, what would you suggest for that type of recognition?
Tools to me, I give for activity, not recognition. One, they're very expensive, and number two, you've got a whole lot of wholesale buyers. I don't care who you are, right? Mm-hmm. So that's just direct selling. They buy for direct purchasing. So to use tools, I think for new consultants, it's good, meaning fold-out guides, brochures. I think when they attend the weekly new consultant training, because they're in the business. So I feel catalogs and things are expensive. You have to go to a bigger envelope. Fold-out guides and catalogs are hard. They're expensive to mail sometimes versus a teeny little product, right? Yeah. So it's true. And remember, a wholesale buyer, or those who are kind of B's and C's, One more product can lead to one more sale, right? Or again, they wear it and somebody's like, oh, I love your lipstick. So I always thought about product does more, because if they don't want to share, I'm giving them shareables. So who wants a shareable? Future leaders, new consultants, your coaching group who hit their goal that week, or maybe it's a toolkit for your drawings, okay? So, and it's not for everyone. Do I think it's good or bad? I don't know. I'm just only sharing experience. It cost me more to do all of that than when I started just looking at products I could get for $1. You know, and again, the response, because I did it for so long and it always worked. I never changed it. I did it for 5 years, and I could control my overrides.
Yeah, I'm thinking more like those type of tools would work good, like for like you know, like attending the meeting, bringing guests, you know, to a meeting or something like that. Oh yes.
Have a tool basket. It's just what I do when I go to a meeting. The only thing Jaffer gives me is a certificate that I can give, because I can't give product because we all don't get to do that. But what I do is I give a tool. I give your congratulations certificate, and I give a fold-out guide or sponsoring brochures. So I completely agree. Live in-person recognition, you know, bringing a guest, all of those things. I think tools for those who want tools to build with are effective.
Yes. Okay.
Samples, a little different. I think samples are okay for anybody, because again, it's product, right? So they give it away if they haven't. So today's world, you've got really inexpensive, even your tear out fragrance scent strips, putting that in a congrats card, right? It's okay. You don't have to spend your full 20% of your income back. And remember, everybody will be over that. So I'm just going at the low dollar amount. Sometimes they're at $5.99, so you made a lot more than what, you know, you're spending. So it washes itself, but you have to be in control. People will not be leaders and be able to duplicate you if you give away all of this amazing product. They just won't. They can't. So you got to be really strategic on how much you spend and that it stays consistent. So when you promote a branch, they all can afford to do the same thing. Make sense? So that's really thinking district, big, wide versus what I do and what I can give away. You never be desperate. Never. Okay. So, all right. Go ahead, Jamie.
Yeah. Jackie, I plagiarized your newsletters way back in the day when the computer system was up and running, and it was like clockwork. My team was really, really producing, and I've just kind of fallen off the wagon with this computer business, but thank you for encouraging us. But it really is true. Even sending those fragrance strips out, they don't cost anything to mail. And what is it? Just an envelope. And what that does for her is gets her started something new and lets her know that she's being watched and thought of and appreciated. So thank you for all that you've done. That is a great model. And again, we appreciate you having gone through this yourself, being in the field, you're speaking from experience, and it's invaluable. So thank you. Coach of the Year. Woohoo.
Thank you. Oh, for the year. No, I'm kidding. So thank you so much. I appreciate that. Okay, with that said, ladies, we're going to take an exit for today. And we absolutely will be here on Wednesday. Choose 8 a.m., choose 9 a.m. We'll send some top notes from both calls since we recorded a longer version today. Today was to stimulate you to get the magic making going and get your systems in place. It really is being systematic, so you don't have to constantly think and exhaust yourself, right? Doing this is really hard. Doing this with a simple plan, you can adjust the sales as you go. But again, it all begins with the only way to failure is to plan to fail by not having a goal and a plan. So get your trip set, get your environment ready to go, get your team ready, and we'll brainstorm on Wednesday how we can do that as a team starting in 2019 as well. Thank you again for today. I appreciate you all. Bye. Have a happy Monday.
You
Bye.
too.
Thank you, Jackie.